What's going on, YouTube gamers? Bonfire here, and man, was that an awesome showing by Microsoft. Now, I know it's a few days late, but I've just been so busy trying to keep up with E3, working, doing personal stuff. It's been an insane week, but that's what I want to talk to you guys today about. I want to give you guys my reactions and highlights from Microsoft's press conference at E3 2015. So the biggest and most impressive thing I thought to come away from the Microsoft press conference was the announcement of Xbox One backwards compatibility. And I didn't see this one coming at all. And this is extremely impressive. I was blown away by this. The way it works is that any games that you own will be, as soon as it's available on Xbox One, it's yours. So all your games in your Xbox 360 digital library, they'll just automatically appear in your Xbox One library once that backwards compatibility game is available. And any physical copies of games you own, you just insert the disc into the Xbox One, download it, and it's good to play. It's insane. I do think it's kind of funny the way they announced it, and they threw in you don't have to pay for games you already own, and that was a total shot at Sony. There's something they don't regularly do, and I thought that was it was good. It was good. I'm not gonna lie there. And I think this just shows that Microsoft is listening. It's crazy to think the turnaround from 2013, where basically they said, nope, backwards compatibility, screw that. And in over 2 years, they've turned it around. Now they're announcing backwards compatibility. They're listening to the Xbox community and delivering a great service. Now, for me personally, this isn't a deal breaker, backwards compatibility, because I still have my Xbox 360. I still play it, so I'm fine with that. It's definitely a nice feature to have, and I'm excited to try it out, but it's not a deal breaker for me. But I know a lot of people really want this feature and have been dying to have this feature, so this is a huge win by Microsoft. The only thing I was a little unsure of about the backwards compatibility is that they showed them up playing Mass Effect, and I couldn't tell if it's upscaled a little bit or if it's going to run a little smoother. I imagine it does, but they didn't really comment on that, so I'm curious to see how that works. Another highlight from the Microsoft conference was we finally got to see Rise of the Tomb Raider, and they showed off some gameplay, and it looked good. The graphics were very impressive, very detailed. Lara Croft looked extremely detailed, and it was non-stop action, and it really reminded me of Uncharted, which is a good thing. I am curious if Rise of the Tomb Raider will run that well on the Xbox One. Only time will tell, but it was a beautiful looking game, and it was non-stop action, and I'm excited for it. I can't help it. This game looks really good. I loved the first one, and I'm excited that this one's looking as good. And they announced that there's going to be some actual tomb raiding in this game, which is what Tomb Raider is all about, hence the name. So that was a big win. The only downside to Rise of the Tomb Raider, at least in my opinion, is its release date, which we got, which is awesome, except it's releasing on November 10th, 2015. Does that date sound familiar? Probably does, because that's the same day Fallout 4 is coming out. Guys, what were you thinking? Going up against Fallout 4? You might want to move that around, because I'm not going to play your game right away. Fallout 4, baby. I ain't missing that. Continuing on with awesome game announcements, Microsoft announced a brand new IP called Recore. And this is done by the same guy who worked on Metroid Prime, and I believe he's the creator of Mega Man as well, which is awesome. And they showed off a CG trailer, and it was basically this female protagonist. She had a robot dog. They were exploring, they got into this battle. Robot dog dies, and then she takes like his core or whatever, I don't know what it is, core, something like that, puts it into the new robot that they found, and he's revived as the new robot. It looks cool, it looked neat. I'd like to know more about this game. I anticipate it's going to be more of a shooter, because let's be honest, Microsoft just cannot stay away from the shooters. But given this guy's background and track record, I imagine this to be a very good game and very impressive. So this one definitely hit the radar, and I'll be looking forward to learning more about it. Now, a non-game related announcement that Microsoft brought to their conference was the announcement of a new controller. And it's not the new controller that was being rumored with just the audio jack transformed to the 3.5mm, so making your Headset adapters for your Xbox One controllers useless and a waste of $25. Thank you, Microsoft. I really do appreciate that. But instead, they actually announced a Elite controller. It's the Xbox One Elite controller. It was very impressive, and again, I didn't see this coming. This was a huge surprise. Now, what the controller is it's kind of like a scuff controller, or those professional controllers with paddles on the back, because it has paddles on the back. It has customizable buttons, customizable analog sticks, and you can just swap out features and stuff like that. It's crazy. This thing is ridiculous. It looks cool, and I really want to try one. I've never used a scuff. I've never been a gamer to use those types of controllers, but I kind of want to try it out. It's neat. And I think this shows that Microsoft really knows their target audience, because let's be honest, a lot of the hardcore first-person shooter players and just the shooter players in general play on the Xbox One, and a lot of them like to use these types of controllers. So this is a win. This is hitting that market and doing an excellent job in doing so. The only downside to this, and the reason why I probably won't get to try one out, is because it's $150. And I know that's a good price range for those types of controllers, because I know they can go up, 180, 200, I think, on some. I don't know, but that's expensive in my opinion. I don't want to pay $150 for a controller just because it's got paddles and stuff. So Another exciting non-game related showing was they showed off the Microsoft Hololens, and this was extremely impressive. And what it was is there was one guy on stage who had the HoloLens on. There was another lady who was going to play Minecraft with him, because they were going to show how it works with Minecraft. And then the camera that they were using to show this, they said that what you're viewing from the camera is as if the camera was wearing the HoloLens. So it started with him just looking at a wall, and his screen was displayed on the wall, which is pretty cool. And then he's like, let's move this to the table, goes over to this table, says some voice command or whatever, and then all of a sudden this 3D model of their Minecraft world pops up, and it just generates before your eyes. It was insane. And then he starts doing some voice commands, and he can spot her, and he was like helping her out doing stuff, and because he's in like overworld god mode or whatever. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is insane. It was so impressive, and the only thing I can keep thinking is like, is this real? Because if it works like that, holy crap, Microsoft is onto something awesome. Truth be told, I don't see this going that far with gaming, at least in the beginning. But when you think about real world applications like businesses and just life stuff in general, I think this has a lot of application to the real world. And that to me is more exciting, being able to just maybe surf the net. You got your HoloLens on, you're just chilling there on the couch, just, I don't know, doing stuff like Minority Report style. That's awesome. So I want to see more of this, but I want to try this thing out. Another awesome showing at the press conference, and was one of my personal favorites, was they showed off Gears 4. And that's what it's called, Gears 4, not Gears of War, just Gears 4. And it was a CG trailer. They showed it off. It looked like it had some gameplay in it, which it ran really smooth. And the thing here is no Marcus Phoenix, no recognizable characters from the original Gears trilogy, but it looked good. It looked really cool. What these two new protagonists characters were doing is, it looked like they were hunting some sort of monster or critter. It wasn't the Horde, at least I don't think it was, but it had this eerie feeling to it, a really dark tone, and just almost scary, like it was trying to scare you and had a sense of mystery to it. And I remember watching about halfway through it, and I was just thinking, this isn't really Gears. Because Gears, you think of shooting, you think of chainsaws. There really wasn't much of that until the end, when they finally caught up with the monsters, and then they were shooting them, battling them, and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, now it's Gears. And thinking about it, actually, I like this direction. I like having some of those moments where there's a sense of exploration, sense of mystery. And it reminds me of the first time I played Gears of War, the original one. Because at the beginning of that game, there is that sense of wonder, that sense of mystery, and almost eeriness about the game. So I'm excited, and hopefully they can bring that feeling back. And if they can, that is a win-win. I love Gears, so I'm really looking forward to this one. The last highlight for me was Microsoft showing off a bunch of indie games through their ID at Xbox program. And they showed off a sizzle reel, showed a bunch of games coming to the Xbox One, and they gave some showtime to several of the independent developers bringing their games to the Xbox One, and that's cool. I can respect that, and I love that Microsoft's really trying to work hard to bring some of these awesome indie titles to the Xbox One. But one game in particular stood out to me, and that's Cuphead. Cuphead, if you don't know what it is a platformer shooter type game that is done in an old school like 1930s cartoon style. So think of like the original Mickey Mouse, and if you don't know what that is, look it up. But it's that same style of artwork, and it looks awesome. It looks like a beautiful looking game. It looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. It looks extremely challenging, and the more I see of this game, I'm just like, this game looks so good. And I'm talking like it's really, really good. Like, I think this game will do exceptionally well. I think it's going to review well. I think people are going to love it, and I want to play this game, so I'm really hoping this game comes out soon. I don't think they announced a release date. At least if they did, I didn't catch it. But keep an eye out for this one, folks. Seriously, if you like platformers, if you like shooters, this is going to be a game for you. And if not, well, your loss. Overall, I think Microsoft had a very impressive showing. They had a lot of surprises, a lot of things that shocked me, and I think they hit the nail on some of the things that I personally was looking forward to seeing at the show. So kudos to you, Microsoft. That was a hell of a show. I'm excited. I cannot wait to get my hands on some of these games, so please release them very soon. And there you guys have it. Those are my reactions and highlights from Microsoft's press conference at E3 2015. Let me know what you guys thought about the press conference, what was exciting to you, and your favorite game at their showing down in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know with a like, and if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button, because I got a lot of great things heading your way. Until next time, I'm Bonfire, and I will see you online. Hey guys, don't forget about Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, and hit that button down below.